friends, hello and welcome back. So we have finally received the hot deep dive for NHL 24, the one deep dive I've been really looking forward to. Play a lot of MLB The Show Diamond Dynasty, see a lot of stuff in that game that makes that game enjoyable to play throughout the season. Hey, we're 6 months in, still playing that baseball game all fine. That's how well put together that is, and it's like I would love to see some of that stuff in NHL, and I feel like we're starting to see more and more of that in NHL this season, and I'm happy to be able to announce that and see that. We didn't really announce it, I guess, but go over it. Starting with the moments. I mean, you're gonna have moments now instead of the challenges, and this is just beautiful. I'm excited to say it. The objectives now. As soon as you get the objectives, you're out of here. See you later. You can play the game if you want, but you're allowed to quit. And also, you're not just playing these boring 2-minute games every single game. You have to play all 3 periods. You can be dropped into certain games. Sure, some of the games you don't have to play the full game, but there's games also where you can, maybe drop in a third period and you have to score 2 goals or whatever. And I've been dying for NHL to add this stuff to the game. So I think that's a big plus there. I think that's going to make it a lot more fun to mix things up, because that's what it is at the end of the day. You want to be able to mix things up. I feel like, at least for me personally, you're not doing the same thing day in and day out. And I feel like you're gonna have that opportunity now. We're seeing objectives 2.0 as they are calling it. And I tell you what I like about this. Look at that. Look at this little feature up here at the top. Look at that little feature. Look at that. How nice is that? Now when you're in the game, it'll update your objectives as you go. I think that's a huge upgrade there. It was always difficult to see throughout the games in the past, so I'm glad I did that. And we're also going to see objectives where certain players need stats, which is that's what we're going to call it essentially. It's essentially player stats. Like, you get so many goals with Milestone Ovechkin or something. They said it's not necessarily all the time, but there'll be some players with it, which again I like. Obtain a player, get some stats with it, make it there a reason to get that player and get some stats. I think that's great. I think it's a big addition there. It gives us an option also to kind of explore players that we may have not used before, which is kind of cool. How about this? A little hut share action now. Fingers crossed. Right now EA's batting 100%. They're batting 1,000. They're batting 1,000 right now over these objectives. There's things we've been harping on from the add to hut over the last 3, 4, 5 years that would make the game so much more enjoyable for the longevity and in general. I feel like they are knocking it out of the park right now. I feel like in general this year they've been doing a great job of listening to what the community's wanted in the past and incorporating it. But now we have hut share. Hut share is essentially where you share your team. There's another thing we talked about in the past was, hey, we got to be able to see each other's friends' teams. I think it adds so much to the game when your friends can see your teams and your buddies. It's like, look at my team, you can compare it. Gives you that extra idea to kind of grind and play a little bit more. Or if you can share your squads together, which isn't a feature this year, but stuff like that. It's always been kind of cool. It's like, oh, let's see what my friends got going on. And you see he's got a good team. It's like, I gotta play a little bit more to get a little bit better of a team. We'll see if that is incorporated. Right here we're seeing hut share, which you can essentially screenshot your entire team. They didn't dive too much deeper into it, but fingers crossed it's possible here. We have XP sets. XP collectibles are now in dailies. You use the XP collectibles and obviously can use throughout the season on different tiers, but the main goal here is you collect enough XP collectibles and get enough sets done where you can get a 99 overall. One of the 99 overalls is this. Look at this. Look at this. Sick looking. Whew, that's a nice looking card. That is a nice looking. I like the purple. Kale McCarr here. We're seeing new synergies. Old synergies are still in the game. Technically they're named differently. You have a speed synergy, acceleration, etc. But now you also have the player type synergy. So if you build a team around a certain player type, you're going to get the synergies as well. So maybe if you have 4 power forwards, you're going to see that reflected in the boost stats. So I think that's kind of cool. We're seeing X factors return. This is definitely the one personally. The one downside, he was batting 1,000. That's great. You know what? Everything's not going to be perfect. We're all going to have our own opinions. It's okay. There's the one downside. It's the X factors. Not because I don't like the idea, but it's because we can see in the screenshots that once again, you have to upgrade them. But an 86 overall and it said 70,000 coins. And I thought that was one of the strenuous things last year. If you got all these players, they always needed upgrading. It felt like he was just putting millions of stubs into these or millions of coins into these players just to upgrade them modestly, especially late in the year. So we'll see if that changes. I understand early in the year, it's like, hey, that 86 to an 87 for 70K, 60, it might actually cost you that much. But, when you get down the road a couple months later, when them 86, 87s, they don't go for as much as that, that's when it gets to be like, I don't feel like doing it. and that can be a little bit taxing, kind of a liability. But as long as they add other content, you have the sets and everything else where you can get players other ways, I think it's great. You know, let people go ahead and upgrade their players if they want. Make it cost something. I guess that's fair. You make it cost something, so it's not easy for everybody to just have every X factor in a game. But I think as long as you have content where you have a mixture of both that are obtainable, and it's just not you had to buy this player to upgrade to be best. I think we'll be all right. So, you know, it's again good. It's good to have that balance, some of each. Team builder cards are going to be in the sets or in the game again once this. We can't speak. Team builder sets are going to be in the game again this season. One of the big differences they're saying is instead of having to put in one player from every single team when you collect the team, say you got like a Hossa and a Sagan, you know, all these team players of Chicago, one of each. Now you can just put in 6 Hossas and get the next team builder set player from the 84 to 87, 86 to 87, instead of having to put one from every team. So I think that's nice as well. You know, I think it'll be fun from a marketing standpoint, really, because you look at the market and there's never going to be like that cheap team, because there's always going to be people buying up one of the other ones. So that'll be kind of fun, a different element to the game. Nonetheless, I like the additions we're seeing this year for a hockey Old Man team. Love you guys' thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.